I am in McAdenville, North Carolina right now, also known as Christmastown, USA, walking along the Carolina Thread Trail. Taking a break in the afternoon just to see the sights and enjoy the river. All right, I am gonna let Kieran from yesterday take over for a little bit and talk about how the drive went. Hi everyone, the car's gotten kind of messy in the back, ignore that, please. If you're wondering why videos take so long for me to post them or where they are, I promise they're coming. I'm trying to edit them every day that I'm filming them, but the reason it's taking so long is because we're camped out in a Starbucks lot waiting for it to upload. Just sitting here, waiting for it to upload, doing its thing. We have pulled over in Starbucks and are eating sandwiches and just hanging out, editing videos, uploading them, catching up on all that good stuff. All right, there is your daily update. Not daily update. There's your update from our drive to McAdenville so far. It is 1:23 on June 3rd right now. Bye.
Bye.
Hi everybody, we just got into the town of McAdenville and it's really bright and sunny and beautiful. We just parked and are walking around a little bit tonight and we just made some new friends.
Quite a few new friends.
So there's this lovely pond with all these geese in it, and so we're just standing here minding our own business, looking at them, and let me show you what's happening. They are all flocking towards us all at once. There was like one goose here and now there are so many geese and they just keep swimming closer and closer. They're coming all the way from across the pond. I think they think we're gonna feed them, but sadly we have no food for them. Hello geese friends. It's nice to meet you too. Welcome to McAdenville. There is the McAdenville welcome sign. We just finished talking to Clarence, who works at one of the auto body shops down the street. He is actually the first person of color who was not white that we've met this entire trip, which is amazing. And we were talking to him about the diversity in McAdenville, and he says it's actually a quite diverse town. He moved here from Atlanta because he just wanted something a little slower paced, which is understandable. He moved out from the city into this tiny town, and we meant to ask how he found McAdenville even, but we thought of that too late. This is my mask, which we wore earlier. People in McAdenville seem to be taking the pandemic a little more seriously than in Hot Spring. People here are wearing masks, there are more signs on doors. There is a little kind of like ice cream and burger shack that we passed, and they are being very careful. They only have one door operating right now. Here it also seems a little bit more suburban, which is very interesting. There's roundabouts, houses. The town itself is more spread out, whereas Hot Springs had that one condensed main street. Here there is a main street with a town hall, but all of the different shops are spread out over a couple different blocks. And there are gorgeous signs that take you from one town to the other. It's very interesting and we will keep you updated on our journey. So far on my walk, I have made 4 friends, 3 of which were under the age of 4. Very cute. One of them is delivering water bottles and ice packs to his dad who's fishing. The other 2 are arguing over who gets the McDonald's Happy Meal toy. I don't know how they're gonna do it. 1 doll, 2 kids. I told them I wasn't gonna get involved with helping pick. We have met some really nice people here in McAdenville so far. All the shop owners have been very welcoming to us as we've entered and talked to them. I've also learned a lot more about Christmastown, USA, and how it kind of became that. McAdenville is one main street, a couple little side streets, and then mainly suburbs. The suburbs are all new houses, but everyone who has real estate there participates in Christmastown and all the lights, which is pretty cool. The Pharr family owns the mill that this town kind of was founded upon. And we actually saw their corporation headquarters today, and the door to the castle-like old mill was open, so we had a chance to go in there too. It was pretty awesome. So today's been going really well. We've talked to about 4 or 5 people, and later this afternoon I'm going over to Mr. Rankin. You might remember him from my second video. He was who I had on the phone interview. I'm going over to his house later this afternoon to pick up a book about McAdenville, actually. So that will be very exciting. This morning, I was getting breakfast foods out of the car, and I was trying to get my applesauce when this bee came up and stung me twice. I thought the bees were only supposed to be able to sting you once, but no. This little fella got me twice, and this was the first time I'd ever been stung by a bee. It didn't hurt as bad as I expected, but I don't know, I'm on their side. I support the bees. I'm all about saving the bees. Maybe I should wear bee earrings and not butterfly earrings. McAdenville kind of feels like that town in Gilmore Girls. If you're familiar with the show, it's set in a fictional town in Connecticut, and you really should watch the show. It's delightful. It's very funny. But it kind of feels like that. It's not that it feels fake, it's that it feels small. And while geographically it's much larger than Hot Springs, the main street itself was much smaller, though the suburbs sprawl greatly. And I have just reached under a bridge, can look at the river. This is another broad river, though the name of it is passing my mind right now. It'll be in my notes later. Oh, there's some cars. All right, trail is curving around back into the woods. Just wanted to show you guys the beautiful scene and some fun graffiti. See if there's anything interesting there. While it's not quite season for them, they've already started here, and a few of them even look ripe. This is a blackberry tree, though I've only ever seen them smaller. I can't actually reach any of the berries, though I might go into there and I'll be able to show you them. Freshly picked food is some of my favorite, and since these are literally growing in the middle of the woods, I'm going to assume that there are no pesticides used. So I'm just gonna have a blackberry, and they are delicious. While these videos are just about my personal times and expeditions and blackberry eating and exploring the underpass of a river, don't worry, my notes and my photography is all centered around the actual town themselves. These are just little video diaries for me to look back at and remember kind of my personal aspect in the journey, and also to share with my 12 followers of friends and family who also want to keep up with this and see how it's going and know where I am and what I'm up to, and that even though I'm eating blackberries straight from the vine on a tree in North Carolina, I'm doing good. Natalie and I had lunch at an Italian restaurant on the main street of McAdenville, and they had a really innovative way of tackling pandemic serving of food. They served everything and just to go. Even for like dine-in, which we were doing, everything was served in takeout containers. They were using water bottles instead of refillable cups, and that way there didn't have to be any cleaning or more hand to other person contact than need be. And we were talking to the server there, who is very sweet. Everyone here is so sweet, and just about how that kind of came about. And the pandemic is really making people think about different ways to handle things. One business we were talking to today, Mona's Boutique, she hadn't ever gone online in her service before. And Hannah, the lovely girl working the front desk, had gotten her online, and it's actually increased their sales since then, which is really good. And that's how they kept up their sales during the time of this closing that North Carolina has had. They're in phase 2 now, like I said before. Another neat thing in comparison between Hot Springs and McAdenville is that they have very different tourist seasons. Hot Springs tourist season is in the spring and early summer, so that really got thwarted by the pandemic. But here in McAdenville, the tourist season is in December, during Christmas time, when people come from all over. Mona and Hannah were telling us about how people came from Germany and Canada to come see the lights, and so the pandemic really hasn't affected their tourist season, which has made this past month and a half be a real struggle for them, but also hasn't drastically impacted their entire year-round revenue, which is very, very good for all of these small businesses. In my free time on this trip, I've been exploring the nature and different places around the sites that we're visiting, and so I haven't really been able to keep up with watching news and politics, but thank you to all of my friends and family who have been helping keep me informed about what's going on and sending me links to YouTube videos and articles to read. And I just want everyone to stay safe, stay true to your beliefs, and make your beliefs known, and don't be scared to say what you think. I have now decided to take a rest in the Central Park where I started and just look out at the river. And I was reflecting on my walk about how when I was talking to Clarence yesterday, he said that McAdenville was very diverse, and I haven't seen it. And I have been in every open shop on Main Street today, and I haven't seen it. I have seen a handful of people who were not white, who did not look like they were in an upper middle class, and they weren't the shop owners I was talking to. It's very unsettling, actually, coming from such a diverse community like ODU, or I live in Charlottesville. Like, it is very unsettling to be in kind of this whitewashed world. And I think that maybe it's because I'm only seeing a small part of the town, clearly, and maybe if I went into the outskirts, which we have to like the gas stations and the ice cream shack, and it's just strange because the two worlds aren't seeming to overlap, and that is something that truly breaks my heart, and especially with everything going on right now. And yesterday Clarence told me he thought that all the politics that were taking place right now, especially with the riots and Black Lives Matter, would find its way to McAdenville because of the diversity. But people here just don't seem to be affected by that. And I think that's because the people I've been talking to are removed from that community. And I could be reading this entirely wrong, and this is just from my personal day and a half touring of the town. And it's really interesting, because I'm not just going to the shops on Main Street, I'm going to the shops on the outskirts, and I'm going to the shops on the edge of town, and talking to people that I see at the auto body shop and that I see walking around and who are in the gas station parking lot taking pictures of them in their truck. And it's just giving me a lot of food for thought, and I'll be writing a lot more about that in my reflection papers that I'll be compiling later for the actual result of this project I'll mainly be writing those papers after my journey of travel has been complete for my research, because I'm trying to focus as much as possible on seeing the places and talking to the people and taking the portraits and getting all of the research I need. So stay tuned for those after I finish my journey and conclude in Arkansas. But food for thought, things to think about. Hi everybody, reporting back from our KOA at the end of our evening. We just got back from a dinner with Steve and his daughter Roxanne. You might remember Steve from an earlier video where I played a clip of our phone interview. We decided it would be safe enough to meet as long as we kept a 6-foot distance and all wore our masks. So Natalie and I went over to his house today, and he gave me a book all about the town of McAdenville that he helped write, and he scanned in or took all of the pictures for it. I forgot to get it signed by him, but if I come back to McAdenville, I will definitely be getting his signature on one of the front pages. It's gorgeous. So we sat around, we talked about the history, and then we headed to dinner at a cute little seafood restaurant, kind of halfway in between our KOA and McAdenville. And it was just a really delightful dinner and conversation. I also got to take his picture, which will be featured in my research journal book publication at the end of all of this. So I just wanted to say that today went really well. Earlier I was talking about a lack of diversity in McAdenville, but today we kind of also explored Cramerton and a little bit outside of town, and I found that there was a lot more diversity in the outskirts, just not so much in the actual suburbs of McAdenville itself. So that was really kind of an interesting find. Everyone was so sweet to us, and something else that Natalie and I have been discussing is that there's no litter in these towns. Coming from Norfolk and even Charlottesville and just Richmond or Atlanta, there's litter. It's just part of living life. But neither of these towns have had that, and even on the roads in and out, there's been like a beer can or like a waffle box or something like that, but it's not like there's a ton of litter, and it's noticeably clean and beautiful. And I'm going to look into a little bit about North Carolina's policies around that, and if they have kind of system for picking up litter, or if it's just because the people seem to care more about keeping their town beautiful. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a delightful rest of the day. I hope that somehow these videos are giving you food for thought too, and also I hope that they are an interesting part of your day if you're watching them. Alright y'all, stay tuned. My southern accent is starting to come out, so that'll be fun in these videos. Alright, bye y'all.